Welcome to Through It All, I've Got You with Mark and Sharanda. We're in season 2, episode 5 is what we're going to discuss today. Might be a controversial topic. Depends on your outlook. It depends on how you view it. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing well. Just a little tired. We did some open houses today, and so then went and grabbed a bite to eat, which was good. So I'm full from that.
We did. We had a full day. So we always will mention if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, if you're looking to invest in real estate, look us up. Mark and Sharanda. We're in this thing together and looking to grow the business and turn houses into homes for people.
That's right.
I can say you're a good realtor. You've sold me a couple properties. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you. You do a good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You are what I call a hawk when you're on it. You don't relent like a hound dog.
I know. I had a client tell me that. He was like, Miss Brooks, I have never seen nobody move as quick as you.
That's all right. You're a hound dog. Get on it.
Oh, gosh.
Well, enough about us. We are here to talk about a saying that you've probably heard. It goes like this: happy spouse, happy house.
Or happy wife, happy life.
Nope.
Nope.
No. See,
What is it?
it was happy spouse, happy house. That's
Well,
inclusive of both.
That's inclusive of both. But what is the one that usually only refers? I agree with that one. I like the happy spouse, happy house,
The one is happy wife,
happy life.
happy life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one that I resisted for years, and I started to get some revelation, and we'll talk about some of the revelation of our roles in marriage and what we're called to do and things like that. But I'll say when I heard that growing up, and again, different mindset. So my mindset, I didn't look at marriage, not that I didn't see a marriage. My parents are still married today, through thick and thin, through ups and downs, right and wrongs. They're still married. So I saw a marriage, I saw a loving marriage. I would say a majority of the time. I'm sure they tried to hide some of the stuff from us.
Right.
We see it more now, stuff, because we're grown and we talk about it and we try to encourage each other. But growing up, I would think, and this is, I think, during my time as a womanizer.
When you were single.
Yeah, when I was single, not married. That was a different mindset. But single, I used to just think women they want what they want, regardless of how a man feels. It's my way or the highway, and I just like, man, that's got to suck. You hear about guys, I gotta go check in with the ball and chain, blah blah blah. I'm like, man, who want that? What say ye?
Well, different things for different people. What works in their house, is no ball and chains over here. I don't control Mark, and he doesn't control me.
What? Wait. No, I don't control you. You're right.
He does not.
No, I do not.
It doesn't work that way. And I don't think, for me, when you say happy wife, happy life, I don't look at it as I get what I want when I want it. I don't look at it that way. I look at, if your wife is happy, your life will be happy. And I think we both want to be happy. And I don't think it means give Sharanda what she wants all the time.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I took it, though. I took it as that saying, because it's happy wife, happy life, meaning she'll make your life happy, even if by making her happy, you are sad or you are just giving up things just to make sure that she's happy, and irregardless of how you feel, is how I always looked at that. Not that you did that. I'm not saying that. It's just that statement brought up. She's got to be happy regardless of me. Like, that's going to make my life happy. But what if making her happy makes me miserable? Not that it should, you know what I mean? But I've got to sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice. just give her everything. She want that, I got to give it to her. She want that, I got to give it to her.
And like that, let me tell you, you know what makes me happy? The little things. Like when we started having our children, and you know, it was a new thing for you becoming a father and learning how to navigate work, being a father and all that. The little things made my life happy. Like if I come home and see, oh, he washed the dishes. Oh, he cooked dinner. That's happy to me because that's less stuff I have to do and have to worry about. So it's just little things like that that makes me happy. It doesn't have to be nothing grand. I come home today and you bought me a car or, you know, something like that. No, the little things.
Now, how many, and I don't know if you know this, and I don't know if I know this, but the internet has a way, and social media has a way to make it seem like you are the minority in that sense. You know, you see these things where, oh, if he can't afford this, he don't need to be with me. Or if he can't afford that, now they may be, the female saying that maybe still be living at home with their mama, and they want him to have it all and take them out of they stuff, you know what I mean, and move them to the mansion on the hill, and all they got to offer is what, you know. So you see that type of thing out. I don't know if it's glorified, but portrayed a lot.
It is glorified.
Yeah, it's glorified, portrayed a lot like he's got to do everything. And there's a role. I think there's role. I know there's roles in marriage, and it's not necessarily financial roles, because there are women that make more than men, and they are happy in their marriages, happy in their relationships, and the money shouldn't equate to happiness, meaning who makes the most or who makes more or who does this, pays this bill means happiness. But you see that all the time, and that's where that statement always lent to me. And again, you've never been that way. I don't know if I can't think even dating did I experience that. I probably experienced. I don't even believe I'm talking about dating.
You didn't experience it for me, y'all.
No. But I'm talking about pre-marriage. Did I run into that and you be like, yeah, no, that's what's out there. Probably. I don't know. I try to block that stuff out of my head.
And there were certain things you just wasn't doing anyway. So it doesn't matter if you rent it to, because, you know, up front, you already said, listen, I'm not spending XYZ on no jewelry, purses, this, that, and the other, unless I'm married to that person. So you already had set that standard. So you probably didn't run into it.
No, I wouldn't have. It would have deterred me right on out the door. Like, if you pay my bill, I ain't make the bill. I'm paying the bill for. You ain't my wife. Let me talk a little bit about what I'm learning about this, and we'll dive back into, I guess, I would say some of my pitfalls or some of my, I don't know what's the word, where you have a notion what you think something is and it may not be.
Epiphany?
No, epiphany is like epiphany. When you oh, I got that. It's more of like a it's like a what you think something is, but it may not be that. It'll come to me later. So drop it in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. But as I'm learning, as I'm growing, and this is, I mean, we're 22 years, although you said 21. You said
don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there.
You had the number wrong.
No.
Okay. You had the number wrong. And
we were married 22 years. I know how long we've been married. Yes.
Okay. So we always talk about investing in your marriage, right? That was one of our episodes. And we're steadily investing in our marriage and learning new things from books and from people. And we read a book recently.
Yeah, our church had a book club, and it was really, really great. How
for married men only.
For married men only, and for married women only. It was a really good read.
Really good read. Short book, 3 chapters.
Yep.
But it challenges you, especially if you have a spiritual aspect. And even if you don't, I know that these lessons can apply to you regardless of where you lie in your faith right now, where you lie in your spiritual walk. There's lessons in that great book that will help you no matter where you are. And it talked about the titles were really catching where you're thinking it's one thing and it's something completely different. And one of the things we read, for me, it was chapter 3 that I had to look at a little deep. All of them I looked at deep, but this one talked about in marriage, the woman, the wife, reflects how the husband treats her. And if you walk around and you see a wife that's happy most of the time, and of course you're not gonna be happy all the time. There's things maybe your husband didn't do that made you mad, but for the most part, their continence is good. That's showing that that husband is doing his part in leading, providing, nurturing, loving his wife. And that took me back to that saying, happy wife, happy life, which means that I'm making her life better. And in turn, my life is better because she is my rib and she will make sure that I'm taken care of as I'm taking care of her.
So that statement is true.
I haven't got there yet. Regardless of the statement, the actions. Because there's such a negative connotation to that. You know, it's such, to me, it's a negative connotation, and I've got to get over that. But the actions, even though I never like the statement, I like the actions behind it. Right? I will always aim to please, to make sure that you are happy. But there's scripture, there's principles that support that statement. I'm getting there. And it's because I have a good wife. And I'm hoping that you all that are listening to this, you have a good spouse as well. And if there's room for improvement, I have room for improvement.
Yes, she has room. Yep, absolutely.
Doesn't mean you don't have a good spouse. It's just, hey, you're growing. You'll never have this thing perfected.
Yeah. And I know in our book, he wanted chapter 3 for us to discuss because of the title of it.
Yeah, Satisfier. For the men, it was the Satisfier. I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
In the women, we had the sanctity of surrender. And, you know, if you do have a spouse that's not doing what he's supposed to do, he has to be held accountable to God. So don't worry about what he's not doing. Just, you know, look at God. Don't look to him, the spouse, but look to him, who is the provider, who is the leader, and he who will help your spouse to get where he needs to be. So don't look to him, look to him, and he will ultimately get him.
So you got to explain those hymns, because for those that are watching, they see where you're pointing. But for those that are listening, they're like, who's the him, and him?
Yes. So look to him, God, and he will get him, your spouse. So God's going to hold your spouse accountable because he called the husband to lead his wife and to lead his family.
He did. What we also learned in there, and not necessarily learned, but what was reiterated, and some may have learned, there was a lot of people that talked about how they should have had this in premarital counseling, but it talked about the call, biblically it talked about the husbands to love your spouse, even as Christ loved the church, and then call for the wife to love the husband.
That's right.
That wasn't the charge. Now, of course, you want her to love you. Lord, please let her love you. That's probably why you asked her to marry you, or you're going to ask her to marry you. But that wasn't that's not the instructions that was given. It was for husbands to love your wife, even as God loved the church and gave himself for it. So that's a role that men play in marriage. Is our job is to outserve, outdo, out everything. We have to sacrifice.
Yeah. And then we have to surrender. We can't fight them, you know, on everything. We just got to learn how to, you know, sometimes close our mouths. Our mouths can get us in trouble. We just have to know which battles to fight and which one just hush and just be quiet.
You know, when I saw that chapter in your book talking about surrender, my mind automatically went to the Eddie Murphy movie, Coming to America, Whatever You Like. Whatever you like. I was like, oh yeah, that's what I want. Whatever you like. And of course, no one wants that. Just a yes woman. I may be some out there that do. that could get over quick. But I did. Hey, maybe for a weekend or a week, or whatever you like. That would be good. But that's where my mind went comically. I was like, yeah, there we go, surrender. But even when you are the head, and I'm putting quotes, and it's not quotes. I mean, you are the head of you should be the head of your house. That you're not going to run over yourself because your wife, you are one. So you're not going to mistreat yourself by mistreating your wife. And you made the point, and I want to reiterate it. I may get in trouble with the ladies, but you know, you see a lot of women wanting to be the man in the relationship, wanting to rule over him and rule over the house. And there's been such a tearing down of families, especially in the Black community, where the wife is the one that holds it all together. And that's part of the problem. They're not called to do that. They're not equipped. That's not their job. That's not their role. It's ours. We have to hold it together. And again, this isn't talking about money. And this is not talking about every decision.
It's not about education either, because we both are educated. But my role is not to step in front of my husband, you know?
Yeah, you got more degrees than I do. But that's what you see sometimes. That's what you hear, especially in the Black family. And could be some of the issues that we face in those families. And it's not just the Black community. It's all communities. You think about the matriarchs. And while they have a place, they have that draw because of a woman's nature to love and to nurture and to care. That role is still, it doesn't negate the man's role in any of those things. He is to hold things together. He is to protect. He is to provide. He is to be that glue, to lead. That's what he's supposed to do. But he leads not from the front. Sometimes you lead from the back. Sometimes you push and sometimes you pull, but that's your role as a man in the relationship. And then you'll have a happy wife, which hopefully you'll have a happy life. What about
you
those?
will.
Yeah,
you
what about those that just mean, just mean out there?
Mean wives?
Yeah, just mean. Maybe hurt from other stuff. And I see this one where I saw this one where the woman was like, when you're not used to a good man, and they were sitting on the couch, and his phone rang, and she was handing it to him. He was like, "You can look at it," and she was like, "What? Wait, what?"
I didn't.
He was like, "Here's
that.
my code." She was like, "Your code." Oh my God, I'm not used to it. Usually they grabbing the phone and snatch it in, because they're not used to a good man that, and nothing to hide. So I just thought that was comical.
Oh God.
But maybe that's
I don't know. If you have a mean one, I don't know. You know how to pray. You just got to pray that God would soften her heart.
Or maybe you got a mean dude.
That too.
Maybe you don't know how to lead. Maybe you don't know what that looks like. Maybe you've never seen that. We're both fortunate. I know I'm fortunate, and you are too, that our fathers were there.
Yep.
And so you saw examples of that, right, wrong, or indifferent, through the good, through the bad, through the mistakes, through the successes. So you have an idea, but there's plenty of men that never seen, and women that's never seen what I would call a healthy relationship. They've never seen a good man lead, maybe the uncle, maybe something like that, a play cousin or something like that. But you may not know how. And for those things, I would suggest you getting, first of all, if you go to church, and if you don't, maybe go. Yeah. But get around some group of people that can show you, and get around some men that are married. Don't go to a bunch of single dudes and ask them married questions. It's just not. It's not where it's at. But
or if you have some good friends, I'm quite sure everyone has some friends that they can talk to and bounce things off. We have a couple of people that we can talk to.
Yeah, we do. More than a couple. We got some folks out there that'll give us the truth.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, when you made that comment about, being my protector, all of that just makes me happy, because I know that you have my back. We have our one grandson. He's funny. When he stays, he knows that Opa is our protector. And so when he's gone traveling, he's like, Gia, are you scared? I said, no, I said, we're protected. We have our alarm system and God protects us. Yeah, but Opa's our protector. I said, yeah, he's our protector when he's here. And so he knows that Opa protects us. And I feel so good about that, knowing that, like, that makes me happy. The other stuff, like I say, it doesn't have to be grand or whatever. Just knowing that I can go to sleep at night, lay my head down, and I have some beside me that's going to protect me. So, yeah.
And I would challenge both husbands and wives to think about what really matters. You keep talking about the grand things, and we've done big things and small things, but it's not. You got to think about what really matters, and at the end of the day, none of this stuff is going with us.
Right.
I remember that thing I saw that it said in 100 years or 20 years or 50 years, someone else will live in your house. Your car will be gone. Blah, 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 blah. Not, then it talked about what really mattered.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that I'm so blessed to have you that have been through the struggle, been through the successes, and we don't know what's next. But we know, what I know is that you ain't nothing but a gold digger. You ain't a gold digger, right? You're not that. And it's important to try to flush those things out in the dating period before you get married, to ask those tough questions. What would you do in this situation? Or what would you do if my health failed while we're married? Or, what would you do if I had a child outside of the marriage and they cut a fool? What would you do? How would you, those things are important because life can be a roller coaster.
Okay.
And
the Lord knows we had some.
Oh yeah. And we don't know what, if we'll have any more, but you have to ask that person when you talk about happy wife, happy life, or happy spouse, happy house, what brings you joy? Mm-hmm. Where's your happiness lies? Be careful if you're dating, if their happiness lies in material things. Maybe when they're younger, maybe that's all they know. If you didn't have, and now you just want to have, and I get that. There's nothing wrong with aspirations. There's nothing wrong with buying things. There's nothing wrong with any of those things. But if you get to the root of what happiness is to someone, or what they think happiness is in 3, 5, 10 years, and all they can say is X numbers in the bank account, and
yes, X numbers in the bank account.
We got X's. We got some X's. We got some O's. We got some numbers in front of them. And we got some commas behind them.
Oh God!
Yeah, we got all of that. We done had it all. We done
right.
Had some
I was happy
before.
when I was gonna say when there was some there was just zeros.
It was like, girl, we need something to happen. Let me phone a friend. But I would ask that question: what is happiness to you? Is it me? Are you happy with yourself? Are you happy with God and you, and then I can come in and be a part of that? Or you better ask that stuff, because if you find that they're only happy with what you can give them.
Yeah.
And it ain't a warm body. Look, I can sleep in another room if you ain't paying no. You better find out.
Yeah.
So it's a journey. I'm 22 years, and I'm not saying it freely, like just hi, yeah, I'm not. But I see if you get to the why behind it, right? That's a statement. But if you're gonna unpack that thing, there's some real meat in there that will help your marriage, that will help you think less of yourself, not in a negative way, but decrease so that your spouse can increase. You want to build that person up, because then in turn they do it for you. And if they don't, you're still called, as a man, you're still called to do it, regardless of, this isn't a quid pro quo. What I do for you, you do for me. This isn't that. Right. This is, they talked about agape, godly love. It's in spite of, it's because of, it's regardless of type love. And I know I keep saying all that. That don't make it easy, because they can make you hot.
Oh yeah,
in spite
same.
of love of them. Yeah.
Yeah, same. I was sitting over here thinking, how sometimes when I would get mad at you, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to fix him nothing. I don't want to cook nothing. I don't want to do, but I couldn't do it, y'all. The God in me will not allow me to do it. I still had to serve my husband in spite of, what he had did, said, or whatever. I just couldn't do it. I still had to make dinner. Now I made it, and sometimes I'd be like, "Your dinner's ready,"
Oh, I thought you were about to say something else. I'm looking like, I don't know. We just heard something the other couple weeks ago. It's talking about a movie.
Oh, you started to put something in it?
No, I know you wouldn't do that.
No.
I ain't
Oh
worried
my
about
God. Oh, I know what you said. No, I would never
I know you
do
wouldn't do
that.
that.
But no. But it truly is a sacrifice, and it's truly because you love that person. You love that person, and you're going to do whatever it takes.
Yeah, and I know when you've made me mad, I've snapped, and still may, and you got to get it right as quick as possible. Sometimes quick isn't quick. We say it's quick as possible, but sometimes possible ain't. The sun may go down on your wrath. You got to try to not let that happen, but it's. I mean, because you get mad at yourself. I know I have before. I've done things and I've gotten mad at myself. Like, man, I can't believe you did that, and blah blah blah. So I know I get mad at you for stuff, and it's not necessarily fair all the time, but it's hard to do when you're mad. It is, and it takes some growth. It takes some
It does.
prayer. It takes some maturity to try to get it right, even when you feel like you're right. I had a saying. I think I've said it on here. I don't know if I said it, but I know I've mentioned it. When I talk to guys, a lot of times I'll say I'll use this saying. I'll say, "Do you want to get it right or do you want to be right?" And then I'll say it the other way: "Do you want to be right or get it right?" And if they say, "I just want to be right," then we got to continue that conversation because
Right.
their mindset is in a different place. Or if you want to get it right, then you may not be right, and you may have to be the one to admit that you were wrong. Or
It's nothing wrong with that. We all have been wrong.
I don't think I've been wrong much at all. No, I have. It's human nature. Can't be right
It
all
is.
the time. Anything else about this topic?
No,
You didn't want to talk about it.
I didn't. At first, I was like, I don't know. But yeah, it was good. It was a good topic.
It is. It's
We
something to.
powered through it.
Yeah, it's something to think about. It's something to. I would encourage you to think about what your role is in the marriage, outside of the material things. But that may be a part of your role too. That is a part of your role. But just think about what your role is and how do you define it or what you want it to be, and that'll help you continue to grow in it. You may not be there now, but you'll get there. If you don't follow us, please like and subscribe, hit the follow button, share on all platforms. We would appreciate it. Before we get out of here, I do want to mention this. The episode after this will have one of the couples conversations. So we'll have our first guest. I'm almost done editing. Man, it took a long time, but when you got 4 people talking and then cackling and
It was so much fun, though.
man, I don't know how these folks out there that professionally do this. They are good. I need to find someone. Anyone want to do some volunteer work to help me edit all this stuff? I can use it. Or give me some tips. I'm learning. But so we want to do that one next. It's going to be friends of ours, Andre and Karina Brown. And we'll talk a little bit in that episode about them and let them introduce themselves. So I'm looking forward to them hearing them and seeing what response we get. And then after that, we'll probably just do the second one as well. We'll do 2 teasers back to back.
Okay.
We had Marcellus and Chanel Lumpsford.
Yep.
They graced us with their presence. We had a good time.
We did.
We cut up quite a bit with them. And so you'll hear those 2 after this episode, and then we'll be back with us and some other topics, and then we'll tell you how to transition and listen to more couples conversations as we get more of those couples recorded and edited. So I'm looking forward to that.
I am too.
It was a fun time. I can remember just some of the conversations and some of the outtakes. We had to figure out how to get these outtakes out there too. They were good. Some raunchy stuff too. Married stuff though. There's some married stuff though. If you ain't married, you got to close your ears. You can't hear all this stuff. Well, thank you all for listening to us. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Leave us some comments. Let us know what you think. Give us some topics that you want to hear us about. We'll research them and we'll share our experience with them. So let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Anything out in closing, sweetheart?
Nope.
No. Well, until next time, have a good night.
Good night.